Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for the Funky Junkie Boutique using some of the new Vault dies. So check out the vintage look and the layered look here that I achieved using the dies from the new Boutique die set. So the background is actually just ink schmooshed using worn lipstick, spun sugar, and frayed burlap on cream color cardstock. So here is that Boutique die, and there is the round floral die that I'm going to show you first. So I ended up pulling a bunch of backdrops and just kind of cutting, 2x2 or 2.5 by 2 inch pieces. And you can see here that when you cut it out, you get this round, round spiral that again rolls into a card or into a rose. So it's pretty cool the way it works. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the yellow one here, and I'm using a shaping tool from Sizzix, and I'm just kind of pushing in the center of each one of the petals. And you can see as I'm doing that, it kind of picks them up and gives them dimension. So the next thing you do is you grab your tweezers and you kind of just start rolling until you get to the very center. The larger two petals there at the bottom. So once you get it all rolled, Tim showed a really cool trick, and I used it, and it really worked well. You take your hot glue gun and you put a little blob on your craft mat, and then you stick the base 2 petals onto that, and then you add another blob of hot glue gun, and then you add the rolled portion of the bloom there, and you just kind of press down on it, and that's the easy way to make a boatload of flowers, which I did up front before I started putting the cards together. So this particular set has this banner die in it, and I probably shouldn't have put 3 of them together, but I did, so I'm going to go with it. But what I ended up doing, as I said, is I took my tape runner and attached the 3 of them together, obviously with the sentiment on top. Sentiment came from Tiny Text, CMS 394, so I just kind of selected a sentiment that I like. And so the next thing I'm going to do once I get it all together, you can see here I'm kind of picking the glue out, overran there on some of the little banner end pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out one of my score tools, and I'm going to go ahead and score close to the edge of the sentiment and then about 1/4 inch away so that I can make a 3-dimensional banner. So again, you just kind of fold those pieces back, and then the banner actually pops up, which is pretty cool. So you can see that ink schmooshed background there that I have, that I've got everything kind of sitting on. So what I'm going to do is I'm pulling out my Vintage Photo Oxide ink, and I'm going to go ahead and ink around the perimeter of that ink schmooshed panel. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount it on craft cardstock. You can see that I cut the doily from this set out of craft cardstock as well, and then I ended up adding some ink splatters on the top just for some interest. So right now I'm just adding little dots of glue there. You need quite a few here to make sure that the doily adheres. So I kind of put it towards the top section. I often use a white paper or a paper towel just to go ahead and get rid of the extra glue. So here's the frame from the set. So again, I ended up cutting out 3 of these and layering them. And the next thing I did was I ink schmooshed the worn lipstick and spun sugar. Actually, I ink blended it, on cream color cardstock. And then I cut the flourishes out. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding the flourishes to the frame for just some extra interest. So you want to make sure that you get the stem of the flourish hidden behind the frame, and then they wrap up on top of the frame. The girl came from one of the photo booth sets, and I just thought she was real interesting, and she had pink cheeks, and I thought she'd just match the whole look that I was going for. So again, once you get that all together, you've got that piece, and then that's just going to go right there on top of that doily. So centered on that doily. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach that banner here at the bottom. Anytime I'm doing something that, has some movement, maybe needs a little bit extra adhesive, I always go for the red sticky tape. I think you just get better adhesion with it. So again, I cut a couple of small pieces there. We'll go ahead and pull the backing off and then attach that to the lower section of the card. And it's kind of cool because it pops up. Like I say, I probably could have done with 2 layers instead of 3, but I'm a go with it girl. So we just went with what we had. So the last thing I want to do is I pulled one of the roses that I made up front. This one's kind of a pink one, and a few extra leaves. And we're just going to glue that to the upper right-hand section of the card. So here is that final vintage card. Again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Blogger. Would love to have you follow me.